Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. What's up, my man? How you doing?
Back again. Appreciate everybody for the meme wars that took over the page and kind of reminded us of where we started, back to our roots.
Brought us back to our roots. Yeah, that's on my list of things to get to today. We got a lot to talk about.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a double feature with guests, but then we also have a lot to talk about before they even come on. So we got Tyler Cole, Bass Lacrosse winner. And then Gilbert, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name right. Rietsch. We'll ask him.
Sounds good to me.
The native no limit winner from Saginaw Bay. I don't know if a tournament's ever been. Have we had a big kayak tournament on Saginaw Bay ever?
Like, buddy, I couldn't point Saginaw Bay out on a map, so I don't know.
It is in America.
Where that is
in America.
I think is it? I saw some Canadians were in it, so
yeah, it's in North America.
Maybe Canada. Who knows?
Canada.
Who knows, man?
Maple flavored confusion. That kind of kicked off the meme wars. I put that out there before
that was a good one.
Started. Yeah. So there we go. Before we get going, I want to talk about this real quick. If you guys saw, Ryan shared it to the page. Then Aaron Mathis came over and shared it to the page. One of their junior anglers out there, Maddie, who apparently is the toughest young lady in the
who's dominating. She's dominating the junior division out there. She had an accident, it looks like, and got injured pretty badly. I think, I was kind of reading back through posts from Aaron and then her family. It looks like they sent her to like a hospital and made her wait out in the hall. Like, you just sit out here, kid. And she had her back broken in 2 or 3 places, hip dislocated, arm broken, ended up life flighting her. But, from all accounts, she is on the mend. And they've got her in a back brace, kind of up and walking. And Aaron has started this charity tournament to raise money, to help offset the cost of obviously this big unexpected life event. So we're in on it, of course. Sending over a KBN prize pack as well as a Yak Addicts prize pack. Jeff, I don't know if I told you that or not, but we are. So we're doing that. And, everybody sign up and donate if you can. We really appreciate the help.
Yeah, and I just put the link to the tournament in the comments. It looks like they went through on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you see the link, click on there, join. I think it's $40 to join. Even if you're not going to fish, join. And won't mess up. Don't worry about messing up your tourney X stats. Just join. Just join.
I don't know who's got that much of a pedigree. I guess online guys. I don't know.
Yeah. So Maddie already, the smile on her face while she's in there hurt. I can tell she's a tough girl. She's going to bounce back and be all right. But all the support that family can garner, they will appreciate it. So do your thing, KBN Nation. And I think if I'm looking at my calendar right, Ryan, we kind of got out of whack because of Dugout slid in with a few giveaway nights, but I believe we're on a Z-Man giveaway night.
We are. Tonight should be a Z-Man giveaway, indeed.
Yeah, Z-Man giveaway. So you guys know how that goes. We're going to do a Z-Man prize pack. All you have to do to win is like and share on Facebook, and then like and comment on Twitch or YouTube. And it would help if you actually commented under the video, but you can comment in the chat too if you can't figure that out. So either way is fine. Just make sure you like it. comment, and you'll be eligible for the Z-Man prize pack, courtesy of Z-Man. Which that kind of leads us into our next thing, which is Icast, Ryan.
Yeah, Z-Man had a big Icast. They won a couple awards. Yeah.
Yeah, they came out with some cool stuff. What'd you think of what they debuted down there?
I really like, obviously there's a lot of variations. There's a lot of crossovers in a lot of baits. My favorite part about Z-Man Plastics is that Elastec. It's so durable and it floats. Like it gives things a completely different action. So I was super happy to see. I don't know if you've ever spent money on dark sleepers, but anything with Megabass name on it isn't cheap. So I'm excited to grab some of those, even though I'm not really around goby fisheries. Smallmouth don't care. They don't really care what it is. If it's a little swimming bait, they're gonna chomp down on it. So I'm excited to try some of those. And that big mullet looking bait, that thing looks like it's gonna be a good time on some big largemouth as well.
Yeah, I saw they debuted a little creature bait too, that little brush hog kind of looking bait. Looks pretty cool. So, and that's one of my favorite baits to throw around, that style of bait. So,
and then an updated chatterbait, the Evo chatterbait. Yeah.
So there we go. Things are happening. A lot of companies, obviously, Icast, they debuted a lot of stuff. There was some controversy there. We'll get into that in a minute. But the meme wars of Icast on the KBN page,
sheesh.
I mean, it actually brought out this cult hero, which is the Frisbee kayak. Came out of the meme. This is one of the good ones. But the Go Boat, I kind of like the Go Boat now. I feel like we've adopted it as a part of our fleet on KBN. I don't know. The Frisbee boat.
We'll see somebody in it. They'll be out there next to those blue skies just boating around or whatever.
What was your favorite meme of the week? God, there were so many.
I don't know, man. There were so many. I really like the Pablo Escobar looking meme, like dude waiting on Hobie's Icast announcement. That was funny. Obviously, let's just go ahead and put it all out there. There were a few brands that I felt like kind of took a beating a little bit. They set themselves up, in my opinion, to take a beating. The Native Titan X, I think it's called. Great. I like the features. It integrated a lot of stuff. It had, I think the foot steering integration is cool for the stern mounted trolling motors. People pointed out it looks like the steering mounts are directly in front of the horizontal rod storage. So that might have been a boo-boo. I do like the kind of pre-made quick disconnect for the bow mounted trolling motors. The battery hatch behind the seat, where it is and the level that it is, I like for stability, getting that battery down and actually having a place for it. I think that's great. I wouldn't put out media content with water in the floor of your boat when your brand is always knocked for water in the floor of the boat.
Yeah, whether that was a illusion or whatever was happening there, it still is something, like you said, it's been known. So to put that on video is.
They said it was raining. It was raining when they were shooting that, is what some of the guys said. I just pull the scuppers out. Do something. Just don't put it out there with water standing in the floor of the boat would be optimal. And Jeff, what's your opinion on the Old Town E-Assist Peddler?
Yeah, so the EPDL, man, the Big Water EPDL. Number one, the Big Water hull, I've always liked that hull's performance, although a lot of people think it's ugly. Whatever, that's fine.
That's the Oldsmobile. That's the Oldsmobile looking one, yeah.
Yeah. It's a very well-made hull for big water, hence the name Big Water, right?
And it's fast, correct?
And it's fast, and it's still stable for the kind of boat that it is. The E drive that they put in it, a lot of people are like, we didn't want this. We didn't ask for this. What is this? What are we doing here? And here's where I think the breakdown is, and then I'll get to my critique of it. Everything that I look at, that we look at, especially on our page, is through the eyes of kayak bass fishermen, right? That's what we do. That's what we are. We're tournament anglers. I don't think that boat was made for that. I mean, it can be used for that, but I don't think that's its purpose. Its main purpose is probably targeted towards big water fishermen, fighting tides, in the wind, current, out in the ocean, big lakes, things like that. Not
people doing physical therapy and need a little assistance.
Not tournament anglers necessarily. So that's why the tournament anglers, I think, were so pissed off about it. I mean, I'm like a lot of folks. I thought an autopilot re-rigged and and redone with more powerful motors and horizontal rod storage. All that would have been awesome. And it may be coming. Who knows? That may be coming. But this, with the kayak bass community, missed the mark. I know it did. But it's still cool tech. It did win Best of Show because of the cool tech.
That had to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like that had to be, I mean, they, obviously, I think it was Brad that kind of leaked the patent deal, but they had to file a patent for this. They've integrated, this electric assist on off into the existing PDL, partnered with a battery company. It gives you all your data right there on the touch screen. Like clearly they invested a lot of money in it. I guess we'll see. Like, are they going to get that return? Is there going to be that market for it outside of our closed-minded tournament side of things?
And the one thing is, a lot of people thought they sacrificed what they thought was already limited storage by putting this in there. Actually, they didn't take away the in-drive storage. The under-the-seat storage is the same. Front hatch storage is the same. The tank well in the back is actually bigger. So they did add some room into the boat. So in that respect, they didn't take anything away to add the PDL head into that drive.
Where is the battery in the drive itself?
No, it rides there's a hatch under the seat.
Okay.
There's a built-in compartment to hold it. Yeah, and then it's wired through hole and comes up the back right behind the drive.
I got you.
Plugs in that way. That's why you can't drop that drive in the existing Predators or Big Waters, which upset some folks. But you can drop an existing Big Water regular drive into this boat.
If you disconnected the battery or whatever, like you could use this as just regular?
You just pedal it.
Okay. Is there resistance? Do you know if there's resistance on?
No, it's not. It's supposed to feel just like a pedal drive.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That doesn't engage if it's not powered up. So
there you go.
Or if you turn it off while it is powered up. So there you go.
Answered some questions here. Does it charge itself as you pedal?
No, it's not like it doesn't have a damn, why can't I say it now? Like what's in a car engine that recharges the battery.
Like an alternator?
Yeah, an alternator.
But like a generator, kind of like a generator type setup?
No, yeah. Well, you can charge your GoPro while you pedal. That's what you do.
See, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, create electricity for yourself.
What else? What else do we have?
Well, there's one thing I want to touch on real quick that happened with the Icast meme war. I thought that week was as fun a week as we've had on the page in a while.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't take any of that personally. I didn't think people took it personally. But in spite of that, we had a wet blanket, a.k.a. Walleye fisherman Chuck Earls came in with a post scolding the nation for having fun, and then signed the post with his own name on the post, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So
that was hilarious.
Yeah. Shame on you.
That was hilarious. Like, hey, look at all these guys having fun over here. It reminds me of, like, when you were a kid, when you were like 12 or 13 and you were at the high school football games playing football at the end of the bleachers. Like, that's the guy that came and took the ball away. Like, you guys can't be, you're going to get hurt over here now. You get back, up there and focus on the game.
It's like, who does this guy? I mean, then I went and looked at his deal, and he had like 80-to-1 selfies to actual product photos from Mike. So I don't know what's going on with the fella. I don't know, but come on, man, don't mess with people when they're having a good time. That's what we're trying to do.
That was a great week. I think a lot of people, obviously there is some defensiveness from some of the pro staffers and whatnot, but overall it was hilarious. It's all in good fun. You have to be ready for that when you put out new products. I feel like you're going to have just as many critics as you do supporters. Just, laugh at it and keep rolling. That's all you can do. People were tagging me in Hobie stuff. Like, I don't work for Hobie.
Yeah.
So
hey, and by the way, salute to all the meme lords, new and old.
Max came out. Shane came out of retirement and was burning up the memes. Chase came back. It was like a reunion, a high school reunion.
It was like an old band getting together for a reunion tour or something.
For one last show to.
But except they'll be back next year. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we got Tyler waiting there, but there's two more things we got to talk about. Really one thing. It's California.
Oh my gosh.
It's California. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is it fallen off the map yet?
Yeah. So the Wild West Bass Trail, and including the kayak side, apparently is in complete shambles. We're talking broken promises, stolen money, etc. What do you know about that out there, Ryan?
I mean, in a world where we're used to seeing no payouts, they've taken their no payouts all the way to a disappearing act instead of getting sponsors to come in and bail you out, the dude's just disappeared. He's just ghosted out, and he's like, well, I may be selling it or something. You guys might get your money, you might not. So I think, the kayak guys, they prepaid. Like, these guys prepaid their entries for the season. So this dude's kind of, ran off in the middle of the night, and nobody has a way to get their money back. I saw they're launching a new trail that's partnered with a magazine now. Mm-hmm. So here comes another number 23, 24 kayak trail that we've seen pop up in California in the last 3 years. New one coming in. And then today we heard that Slay Nation California is closing up shop. So yet another failed California trail. So I talked to Frank about that.
Mm-hmm. I went to the source. I said, hey, I sent him a message, and I called him on the way home from work, and I said, hey, what happened out there? What's going on with the Slay? Because that's the latest shoe to drop, right? Basically, his TD out there, and if anyone is familiar with how Slay runs things, they basically have affiliate clubs all over the country, different states, different cities, and Frank has these TDs that step up and run a Slay Nation series,
similar to like Bass Nation, kind of how that is.
Yeah. Except there's a lot more of them. I think smaller satellites, things like that. So one lesson Frank has learned, I think, talking to him on the phone, is he's going to come up with a way to better vet these TDs, because it happened with him in Texas last year, if you remember. And come to find out, this guy's got a bad rep in California. This isn't the first time there's been problems. So this guy was not accounting for all the money, messing with not doing permits the right way, things like that. So Frank has basically booted this guy out as a TD, pulled all the told them to cancel all the permits because they were done wrong, and we're going to get them in trouble. He's not trying to cancel the season. He's actually trying to save the season by getting new permits done and finding somebody else to run it. But they're kind of in limbo with this cat that's kind of run amok out there in California. So,
and I mean, it was a similar deal, right? Like you're taking in the money and you're not paying. And I don't know how. And I had a conversation with a California TD about this via DM. What was published? Is it published 100% payout? Because we've had this conversation before. If you don't have to run a tournament trail 100% payout. Obviously, right, yeah. Especially these bigger organizations that are spending money on conference centers and putting on a show or whatever, there's a cost associated with running these events. So for people to go and expecting 100% payout is one thing, but to be on the take for 40% and just not saying anything to anybody is a different ball game, I feel like.
Yeah, and talking to Frank, there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to misquote or say the wrong thing, but there'll be more info, I guess, come out on that. We need to have him on one night maybe with another TD and talk about all that stuff, because it's pretty wild. But
let's do it.
There we go. So that's what's going on out there. Prayers up.
Did we miss anything? We get it all?
I think so.
Okay.
Tyler's patiently waiting. I see him with his headset on. Let's get Tyler in here. Gilbert's even here already, so we'll get him in as soon as we interview Tyler about his big win. Before we do that, let's talk about the sponsors. Obviously, we're doing partner giveaways tonight with Z-Man. We did Revo last week. Gil and Seagar, they all support us in that endeavor. And then the whole show is presented by Dugout Bait and Tackle. Saw a lot of people stopping by Dugout on the way back from Icast.
Oh yeah. Christine went in there and cleaned her stuff out. She's moving in. She's home in Tennessee now. Yeah. They're getting all her stuff hung up in the crib there. So she's got her big check and her big trophy out of the dugout and back at the house.
There we go. So shout out Dugout. Shout out Christine for finally getting that done. ProGuide Lithium, they had a nice booth down there at Icast. We're trying to track down one of their tech experts to come on here, but won't be long. We'll have them on and talk lithium batteries and why brand matters. And then Bangtail Whiskey. The Icast was in Florida. Was there Bangtail flying around down there? We don't know. We weren't there. We don't know.
I don't know. Bing was on the road. I know that. He was posting some Dylan Wheeler stuff the other day.
Okay. So there we go. Shout out to them. We love our sponsors. Go give them a follow, support those that support this sport. With that
anybody in the Huntsville area, we talked about helping out with that muscular dystrophy charity that ProGuide's associated with. They'll be in Huntsville Saturday night. So anybody wanting to hear some good music, come on out Saturday night.
There we go. Let's get our first guest in. Tyler Cole, what's up, man?
Not much.
Two-time Bassmaster Kayak champion, Tyler Cole.
Never thought it'd happen.
I'm telling you.
This thing's rigged, I feel like.
Here's the thing, and I may be wrong on this, Tyler, but both of your blue trophies came on the absolute best way to catch bass, which is catching them on a frog. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, one of these days, Booyah is going to call, and they're going to be like, hey, you can quit your job and just go throw a frog all the time.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and
how
Steve,
did it set up?
The river is way low, so we came off heavy spring floods up here. I mean, it was the third largest flood ever for the Mississippi River this spring, and now we're back even below normal pool right now. And like, it's been steady, you know, coming up into the tournament, it was real steady. And then on Saturday, the Corps thought it'd be really funny just shut the water off.
They love that. That's their Saturday move, I feel like.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look at these guys are catching fish. Not anymore. But I mean, it's basically this time of year. Anybody fishing Hobie, get your notebooks out, because this time of year and all the way till middle of September, it's our summer pattern. So, you know, your main channels, your secondary channels, anywhere with current is going to be where your fish set up.
It looked like the drone shots that Mark put up. There was a lot of that. You could actually see the channels cutting like on the edges of the grass. Is that what the deal? The current coming around those grass edges? Yeah,
as long as you had just a light current. It can't be too much, can't be too heavy. But if you can find just that right with just the right color water, you know, because like the river's known for muddy water, stained water, and clear water. You know, you just got to know the difference between the three. And like I was catching all my fish in some stain with just a light current. I mean, it wasn't real heavy, just enough to get the weeds tilted the right way. And they were stacked in there.
And you've got a pretty good amount of history on lacrosse. And were the pools that the tournament was on, is this an area that you had fished previously?
Yeah, so 9 is like my backyard. It's actually closer for me to drive home than it is to drive to Lacrosse from where I fish.
Gotcha.
And so, I mean, and like the last couple of years, you know, helping with the Bassmaster stuff and having to sit this one out, it was always tough because this is the best time of year. Yeah. And I mean, it seemed like the better pool this time of year really had a lot more people on it.
I've been up there several times, Tyler, and I've actually run into you on Pool 9 fishing before. And I know I'm not going to drop anything.
He already sent it. He already sent us screenshots, Tyler.
It's a big pool, big pool.
We're going to post those in a minute.
What I know is that you've been real close to capturing a huge event up there a couple of times. So what did it mean to you to go ahead and catch it this time with that blue trophy on the line?
I literally, the year of the duck hunters for the KBF championship that year, when I was sitting in third going into day 2, and then ended up having duck hunters set up on my spot. Like I stayed at home all weekend, and I got married the weekend before, and I told the wife, I said, I've been in this position before. I said, I don't even know if I want to drive up here. You know, it's just, it was one of those things. I mean, and the river can be so fickle. You know, you can have one of the best days, and then the next day they're gone. You know, it's a really level playing field, even with, you know, a little bit of home field advantage.
Are you looking forward to the championship? Since, you know, obviously we know where the Classic is. You got to think the championship's going to fall somewhere in that direction. So at least it's a little bit closer to you than than driving back down to the southeast again.
Yeah, I'm game for anywhere. It'll be fun to go down. We're gonna take a week and we're gonna stay and like enjoy it. The last time I had to burn out, and it's like this time we're just gonna go and enjoy it and fish it and see what happens. So,
hey, I want you to do something, Tyler. I want you to sell Lambert on why Lacrosse is worth going to someday instead.
Please,
even though there's not 22s and 24s.
I want you to sell Lambert on that too.
I love it. I love it up there. We're both sidelined this summer. Neither one of us could go. We're both, you know, sidelined. But I want you to sell them on it.
We're cursed. Somebody's got that voodoo doll working overtime this
right.
year.
So leading up to this tournament, I literally had 6 or 7 different pictures of 21.5-inch fish sent to me. And that's no joke.
Where were they from? From Lacrosse or somebody's fish tank?
They know.
Bob Baylor sent them.
Right? Yeah. Bob Baylor sent me 4 of them. But no, the thing about the river is there's no real advantage. You know, every day the fish move, and it's so tight. It's nip and tuck. You know, you can go up there and you can have days with 50, 60, 15-inch fish. And that's, you know, it's fun. It's what people enjoy. But you really have to go out and target that 17, 18, 19 and bigger to really do well in these tournaments. You know, it's level across the board. I mean, because like I've had spots, Monday pre-fishing before the tournament, I went and caught 92 inches of smallies in 45 minutes.
Whew.
And then that north wind comes and it muddies that spot up and you can't even fish it. They're gone. And so, you know, it makes a guy scramble to find new fish. And there was another guy that was in one of my really good smallmouth areas, and he's like, I think we're going to be sharing fish. And I'm like, nah, you can have them, because I saw the north wind coming in. And I'm like, that edge, just the eelgrass tears it up and it's no good. So, and that's what he learned that week too. So,
and those smallmouth up there, though, they are kind of known for roaming, like covering a lot of water, right? They're not like, you know, what we're used to here on the Tennessee River and some of the tributaries. They position in you know, pretty predictable areas. Up there, they're just roaming, chasing bait, right?
Yeah, Monday through Friday, they're the most obedient fish you'll ever find. They'll stay put. They're right there. You can go to the same rock and catch the same fish 4 times. Saturday comes, they're gone.
Weekenders, I like it.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if it was you. Maybe you said this before, but I know for a fact, talking to Christine a few times that we've been up there to tournaments, she's gotten hung up on that and burned a few times, along with other people that have gotten burned up there counting on the smallmouth.
Yeah.
So they can do it to you.
I have a whole bunch of times. This was the only tournament that I was smart enough to switch back to greenfish after I had good smallies. And I've fished 9 or 10 events up here, and I've chased smallies just about every time, because I want to win a river tournament on smallmouth, because I know it's doable. I know they're there, but they are so inconsistent. They've burnt me all but twice. And yeah.
What do you think? I mean, where do you think the big fish are up there? Because you look down the leaderboard and there are a lot of limits, of full limits and pretty close limits. I think that's one of the exciting things about these lacrosse events is, you know, if you're in the top 20 after day one, you got a shot to, you know, to make your move and at least get in good check range, if not, you know, top 10 range. But why do you think it is that there are so many of those? It feels like 17 to 18 and a half inch, 19-inch fish, and not many over 19 and a half. Like, is it the bait or, you know, the setup of the river up there? What do you think it is?
It's a lot of the setup of the river. I mean, you have tons of wing dams that a lot of those bigger fish will move to during the summertime. And once they're out there for a kayak, they're almost unaccessible, because we can't run from wing dam to wing dam.
Yeah.
You know, like you could in a boat, where boats, you know, they're putting up 18 pounds, 17 pounds. I think Angler's Choice took 36 pounds to win over 2 days, which, I mean, 18 pounds a day. And they're able to run, you know. I mean, it's tough for us, you know. We got to kind of deal with unless you're Drew, then running 4 torpedo batteries dead. But I mean, I think that guy fished every inch of pool 9 there was. So
yeah, and those wing dams can be like you just said, Tyler. The last time I was there for a BOS event, I had a great day one. Was sitting, I think, in 11th place in a BOS event, and then the wing dam. I said, "Yeah, no, head back to Arkansas, buddy. I'm done.
Yep.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you."
And that same thing with that, you know, you can find a hot wing dam and you can be on them. And then the next day you show up and there's not a fish there.
Yeah.
And Genoa's done that to me 3 different times. You go out and catch 90 inches in no time, and then you show back up Saturday and there's nothing there.
So dial us in a little bit to the technique you use. Obviously, you caught them on a frog, but without giving away too much of your juice.
Yeah, I mean,
your frog set up. I know you got a specific rod company that you're with, and all of that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Batson Enterprise and Team Rata Shadow build all my rods. I got a custom builder, Al Angling, that does everything for me, and Bill puts all my builds together. Bill Batson himself, we do an actual acid wrap is what they call it on the eyes. So my guides don't go straight up the top of the reel. They actually wrap around.
Really?
And it just, it helps load the rod up more, gives you a lot more control in your reel. If you've ever set the hook and had the reel twist out of your hand, I mean, that takes all that out. But I run it's a 7.4 heavy, fast, with a 14-inch carbon fiber handle on it. That way, I mean, it'll leave bruises on the inside of your arms. And then
like a big swim bait
handle to it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not going to slip. You're never going to drop it. And then I run between 65-pound in this scenario is where I was at, just because I was fishing in the thick stuff. Where you just got to crank them right out of there. And
what kind of reel you throwing?
I actually throw all Daiwas, so I was on a Tatula for that one. I've never found a reel better yet. So I got in the pads like day one. I could just burn the frog and they'd just come up and crush it. They were just. But as the day went on, they started to slow down a little bit, and I noticed the bites weren't as much. So day two, I got out there, excuse me, and I had to work it real slow to get them to come up out of the grass to eat. I mean, they were in a funk, and like I said, they shut the current off on us, and so there was very little flow, but. Normally, the first day of no flow, they won't move quite as fast. Now, if you're on day two, they probably wouldn't even be in the area. So then I moved over into the pads, and I actually switched it up a little bit. So it's almost like finesse fishing a frog. You're basically you have all your pads that sit together, and then you have little holes in between them. So then I either shove a split shot in the back of the frog, or you take a nail weight and put it right in the eyelet of the frog, just to kind of give it just a little bit of sink on it. And then I'd flip to close to those holes, and I'd just work the frog into it, and then I'd just sit there and shake it on the front of that pad. I'd hook it to the front of the pad, and when they would come up and get it, like it just erupt. I mean, they were hitting it so aggressively, but it took them forever to come up and eat it.
That's crazy. What's your preferred frog out of the Booyah lineup?
Either a bullfrog or a leopard frog.
Is it popping pad crasher or the regular pad
Nope,
crasher?
just the regular one. They walk so well, and Bass Pro always does a sale on them, 3 for $10 in the spring, so you just stock up for all year.
I was fishing a tournament. It was in like September, I think, on Chickamauga. It's one of the better frog bites I've been on, but I only had like 3 or 4 frogs with me, and I broke off 2, of course. Why not? First thing in the morning. So I had bought one of those Booyahs that looks like that sprinkler thing with a little paddle tail on it.
Yeah.
Dude, those fish chewed the shit out of that. I caught so many fish. I only had 1, and I had pulled it inside out 2 or 3 times. Like, I ended up the second day of the tournament, I had to pull it all the way up over the hook eye and super glue it to keep it from folding back on itself. But that made me a believer in the old Booyahs there. I was like,
whatever happened to the sprinkler craze of 2019 or whatever that was? You couldn't even buy them for a while.
It happens. It happens. Yeah. It comes in hot, and everybody runs out and can't get them fast enough, and then they go away.
And that's this time of year up here, like a Stanley top toad or a ribbit frog or something along that is usually, it's usually a solid bite.
I've always thrown the ribbits, the super flat ones that'll sink to the bottom as soon as you stop reeling.
Yeah.
It seems like they get so many, like I miss more fish on those than anything, but golly, as far as trigger and bites goes, that thing's hard to beat, I think.
Yep. Yeah, that's those top toads. Those top toads work really, really well. I have 2 full boxes of those that they're known for up here on the river.
Yeah. Unbelievable, man. I saw your pictures post event, and I guess I knew you lived up that way. I didn't realize you lived so close to Pool 9. What did it mean to have your whole crew with you? Because I saw your whole family in the pictures there at the award ceremony.
Yeah, the wife and kids. I asked them on Saturday. I'm like, I said, I hate to jinx it. I said, but if I cash a check, I said, and that's all I told them. I said, because I didn't think I had enough fish in there to win. Like, not when you got the group of anglers behind me, that were in there. You got Russ and Todd, and me and Todd and Lance were all in the same area. So, I mean, there was a whole lot of fish sharing going on. I mean, to a point, I guess.
I thought Lance was going to do it again. I was like, man, no wonder he pushes so hard to get these dang tournaments up here. He got
yeah,
he's got direct deposit as he's recruiting. Like,
I was sitting on one point, and he was sitting on the other point. We were literally 150 yards apart, and but with that Torpedo, he's got rigged up on that Bonafide. Like, he dusted me because I wanted to go to the point he was on because it was a better point. But yeah, not when I'm rolling at 3.8. He's rolling at 7.1. Yeah.
Well, that leads into this question that Ryan starred here, which is, how do you handle position management in moving water? So you running a bow mount, anchor, power pole? How do you hold position out there?
I don't even let myself sit. I work down through, let that light current just carry you, and you'll find the eelgrass and you'll hit it, and it'll slow you way down so you can make some more casts. But don't make 100 casts in one little spot. Just literally work your way down and then turn around and drive back up and float down again. And just keep working through and just pick different spots as you're working through. And like when I got into the pads, I'd push myself in with the paddle, and then I'd turn all the way to my left, stand up, turn all the way to my left, and I'd just start working my way across. And I'd work all the way around the boat in 360, and then I'd move 20, 30 feet ahead and do the same thing again. And it was such slow going on Saturday or on Sunday.
Ridiculous. Like a surgeon out there.
Yeah. And that I literally I had 4 bites in that whole pad field. And wow. One was a 19 and a quarter, the other was a 17 and a half, and then 2 of them under 16. And it was brutal over there, but it was the one right bite that put me where I needed to be, even though I'm driving to awards, and Jeremiah Bursch is texting me. He's like, what do you got? And I'm like, well, I said, I'm 1.5 inches ahead of Russ. I said, but it's Russ. Like, this guy catches 5-pounders in a 5-gallon bucket. So just never felt good about it.
Did you and Russ talk, or did you know going into it? Oh boy.
No, I sat there and I'm like, I should go ask him. I'm like, nah, we'll just let it go. And then they announced, right as Steve started to announce second place, Russ stood up. And
he knew.
Yeah. Because I had my fish early. I had mine at by 11:30.
Okay. So he knew he didn't catch you.
Yeah. Yep. But
nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was crazy.
It's really hard to win on your home water. So well done on that.
Yeah.
Man. It's really hard. Isn't it right?
That's what they say. Yeah. I haven't managed to pull it off yet, but they say it's really hard to do.
Right.
I'll let you know.
No, and I mean the event itself, like Steve does an amazing job, and he's right quick when they're judging fish. I don't know how many judges they got, but the turnaround time is really quick. So if you have any issues with your fish. He handed my wife a check at the awards.
That's how you do it.
He told me to let me have the trophy, and she'd have to take that. So
Steve knows how it works.
I haven't seen it since.
So real quick, we're gonna let you get out of here in a minute, Tyler, because I know you're on your way home from work. And We got Gilbert waiting. He's going to come on and tell us about his big win. But here's the AOY standings as it stands right here. Where'd it go? Yeah, that's it right there. No, it's not. Stop
It's
sharing.
okay.
I'll share it again. I want you to get your take on the AOY race and who you got. Who's your pick coming down the wire here? You got Russ, Nick Dyer, Greg DePalma, Marty Hughes, Eric Siddiqui all in the top 5.
Ooh, that's tough because I mean they're all hammers. I mean,
and Lance Burris creeping.
Yeah, Lance is always in the conversation. I mean, you got like just past years and going with it, like you got to pick Russ. You know, that guy's a hammer. Everywhere he goes, he's a hammer.
Though, if you look at what's left with the Susky,
yeah,
I think
GDP.
I think GDP probably has a little bit of an upper hand. Not that Russ hasn't fished the Susky a lot, but I think, local knowledge and having contacts in the area, Ike's going to fish it. I think there's a lot of connect the dots that will put him in good position. I think it'll come down to the wire on that one, really.
I think so.
Well,
so
yeah, Tyler, well done, man. 2 blue trophies. Right. You're stacking them. Hopefully you can add not the Kayak Classic, y'all, a Bassmaster Kayak Championship to the trophy racket.
we have to do better than last time. Last time I skunked, so here we are.
Yeah, you're gonna do better. You're gonna come down to my neck of the woods, somewhere in Oklahoma or something.
I hope I can qualify up at the Susky so I can at least have an excuse to drive out there other than hanging out at the expo.
Yeah, you come to my house, Ryan. We can play cornhole.
There you go.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
At least I can do something well.
Yeah. All right, Tyler. Well done, man. Congrats again.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Congrats, buddy. See you.
There we go, Tyler Cole. And Gilbert has been patiently waiting. I don't know Gilbert. I don't know how old he is. They called him the young hammer. He looks like a pretty young fella. We're going to find out here in just a second.
They call him the young hammer.
Another one. Gilbert, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for hanging out. You've been waiting a while, so I was hoping you wouldn't drop off and say the hell with these guys. I don't know what these guys are doing.
I would have been here forever. This has been a fun time.
Okay.
Thanks for
great
having me.
Yeah, you bet, man. You earned it.
So where's Saginaw Bay? Help us with that. Help us with that first.
Okay, so Saginaw Bay is in Lake Huron. So it's like a small bay, and it's mostly known for its walleye fishing, but it is also a very good largemouth fishery. But if you go northern enough towards the main lake, you can find good smallmouth. So, from what I've heard.
I saw some of my Canadian brethren posting some smallmouth pics from this tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Some decent smallmouth.
There's some big smallmouth out there. No one really went and looked for them, in my opinion. There should have been some 21s, 22s caught if someone went far. But
gotcha.
It is what it is.
That's what threw me off about this tournament, because I thought, okay, up north, no limit tournament, it's going to be nothing but smallies. And then I clicked on his limit on Tourney X, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are all.
I think because we think Michigan and we're like, oh, Lake St. Clair, millions of giant smallmouth. And then this happens, and it's like, well, maybe all of Michigan's not the same. Who knew?
Yeah. So Gilbert, tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, I haven't seen your name come across the national tournament list like this, but there is a lot of young guys out there cashing checks and doing damage like you are. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you fish up there.
So I'm from Waterford Township in Michigan. It's a smaller township, a little bit west of Detroit. I'm 18 years old. I've been fishing for a long time. I just started getting into kayak fishing like last year. But this is like the first year I've really tried to. This is like my second ever big tournament I've ever competed in. I normally compete in like tournaments with like 30 people or less. So I do pretty good at those. So this was like the first big one with 110 people.
So you think it's easy? You think these old guys can't fish?
Easy money?
No, I'm joking.
Sorry, Tim Percy. He said, stay in the correct country.
So it was just an amazing day that day. I don't know how many fish I caught.
So there was 110 anglers in the tournament.
Yeah.
It shows 893 of those, 893 submitted fish. How many of those were yours, you think?
All of them.
All of them?
Probably, I had over 40 probably submitted.
Golly, really?
And that's not even close to how many I caught. I caught over 100 bass that day.
What?
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's his limit. 450 inches, Ryan.
All right. Okay,
And
then.
most of the day, you were battling hurricane kind of weather. It was coming down sideways, and there was whitecaps where I was for a solid 2.5 hours. Where I was
okay. Were you on like an offshore deal, or why were there so many bass that you were catching there?
So this is Saginaw Bay for you. So I was on a rock pile in 3 feet of water. Yes. So in the morning, I first got out there in the morning as early as I could, got to the spot, and just got my power pole, push pole, pushed into the ground, just sat there, just didn't move the whole time. And then I started seeing fish bust on surface. So I started throwing a topwater around. I got one on my first cast, and then just started hammering them. I ended up like probably on my 5th or 6th cast, I caught 2 fish with 1 lure with only 2 treble hooks. So that was a fun, never done that before. Then I proceeded to switch to a Texas rig, and I started catching bigger fish, just fish almost every cast. It was stupid how many fish. So then another kayaker came to me, and he started fishing near me. And
welcome to kayak fishing.
Yeah, right.
It was such a big area, so I wasn't surprised that he came and sat about 35 yards away from me. But nice guy, real nice guy. Gave me my space. I gave him
Brought me a sandwich.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was not catching fish. That's the funny part. I was casting with the same rod. I made the same cast probably 100
I bet he didn't think it was funny, did he, Ryan?
Yeah.
No. So I started the day off with a walking bait. Then I went to Texas rig, then a drop shot. Drop shot's where I did a lot of my damage. And caught a bunch of catfish, walleye, and drum too.
Just a good rock pile.
Yeah.
So all species, you're talking 150 fish then, huh?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was stupid. Many walleye over 20 too. So.
Ryan, Joe Mack
I just
on
saw
YouTube. He said he doesn't think he's caught 450 bass counting back to 2008. Sorry, Joe. Me either. I'm with you. Yeah. So Gilbert, you said 3 feet of water. When you hear 3 feet of water rock pile, you think shallow, like
yes,
on the bank. But were you, I mean, like on the bank shallow, right?
No.
So were you offshore?
Shallow.
Were you offshore shallow? Not like people hear 3 feet, they think immediately you're on the bank, beating the bank. Were you offshore on a rock pile, even in shallow water?
Imagine like a creek channel that goes far offshore, but it's 3 feet of water where I could go. It's the whole bay is about 5 feet deep. So
okay. So you're offshore, but still shallow. In other words,
offshore,
yeah.
But yeah, so about 3 feet of water where I'm like hitting my Mirage drive against rocks if I wasn't careful enough.
Yeah,
and yeah, it could have been bad when that wind started picking up later in the day. But my favorite bite of the day was probably when those fish actually stopped biting. I went into the weeds, where I had a reed hatch, and I started throwing a frog around, and I was hooking a fish every cast with a frog.
It's frog night here on KBN Live.
Yeah, I guess so. I need to go buy some more frogs if I ever get to fish again.
So I was just hooking a fish every cast with the frog. It was
What's
crazy.
your favorite frog?
It's got to be the Spro 65 size normal frog and a green pumpkin.
Old bronze eye.
Yeah, it's the best frog. And then then the wind started picking up and it started white capping out here.
Damn it.
Pretty bad.
I'm clipping that, Jeff.
You know what I meant.
Sorry, Gilbert. Having to roast Jeff a little bit live here.
I'm a grandfather, Gilbert. Leave me alone.
I'm still listening. I'm still listening to the story. The wind's blowing. We're throwing a frog. I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
So once the wind started to pick up and the white cap started to come, the frog bite was over. That whole reed hatch, I was catching fish every cast on that thing for about 30 minutes, and then it just stopped, just instantly. Couldn't get another bite. Then I proceeded to go with a buzz bait onto a massive flat where I knew there was bigger fish, but not as many fish. So that's where I started to catch some other fish. Probably caught like 5 there, only 3 keepers or so. So lots of 14-inch bass out of everywhere. They're all 14, 13.75, or 14 and a quarter. That's the range. Every bass was like that. My biggest of the day was at 18 that I caught flipping in the last 20 minutes of the day when the wind was so bad I couldn't be out shore. So.
And what's the minimum?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I was going to say, is it 14 inch? Is that the minimum length?
Yes, it was 14 inches. So
how far away do you live from Saginaw Bay?
So I live about an hour and 20 minutes from the spot I went to.
Okay.
So I drove up there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday pre-fishing.
Wow.
All 3 full days. So I checked a lot of area.
Put the work in. Did you have a lot of experience on it beforehand?
No. Wednesday was my first day ever actually bass fishing.
Wow. Nice job.
How'd you find the rock pile? Just dumb luck, or did you know it was out there? How'd that work?
A friend told me about it.
Oh,
okay. You're ready. You're ready to be a PKA, son. Come on out. You got this.
Hey, that's part of it, man. That works. That works.
Yeah. So the person that actually got second, I actually saw him earlier in the morning, and he went into like a cove or something not far away from me, and he never came out of that cove, and he's got like 27 inches or however much he got. Adam did.
Put that in your memory bank for the future.
Yeah, so he was just in there apparently, and then my other friend was with me, John. He went into that same cove, and he got like, I don't know, 200 inches or something. So.
Okay. Yeah, you and the top 3 guys all went 400 plus.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fell off from there. Yeah. We hadn't talked about too many 400-inch limits on KBN Live.
No, that seems like a lot. Out of curiosity, how many frogs did you lose to pike? Is a question from Lucio.
None. Not one.
Really?
He was Lucio.
he was convinced the answer was 0, but you say none.
Yeah, none.
Did you were using a steel leader, Gilbert?
No. Just 40-pound straight braid.
40-pound braid?
40 pound. Okay.
Wasn't
that's real finesse frogging out there.
It wasn't that thick of reeds where I could just, it was more of just getting it on the outside of the reeds, working it 3 or 4 times, and a fish on. So it was just
pretty solid.
Yeah. Then what else did I do? Then I tried going back offshore. It was just way too bad. Then I ended up going towards the boat ramp where I knew there was some cleaner water up shallow. And then I just started flipping, and I caught, I think my last 3 were there in that area, but they weren't. That was the biggest fish of the day. I caught my last fish of the day was the 18. That was my biggest fish of the day, which isn't crazy big at all. So it was a lot of small fish. But
what's your favorite way to fish, like presentation wise?
Okay, I've got active target on my kayak, and I love chucking a jerkbait and a drop shot for smallmouth.
Boy,
you
sound like somebody else we know.
Yeah, we got a Michigan Edwin on our hands.
That's exactly what I was thinking. A lot of these pieces of the puzzle are lining up here.
I'm telling you. Have you thought about now heading out on the road maybe at some point in the near future to fish some other large tournaments?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so easy to win money at these tournaments. It's like a part-time job.
It's not that easy, but
no. Depends who you ask.
Depends who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only reason I really did this tournament is because I wanted to qualify for Torch Lake for the championship throughout MKT for Michigan Kayak Trail. That's the only reason I did this, because it was in near Traverse City and stuff. I wanted to go up there and smallmouth fish.
I've actually been to that place. Beautiful up there.
Yeah.
Beautiful water. Looks like the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's cool. It's one of my favorite places. So I wanted to qualify for that. So I'm like, I put my mind to it, and I'm like, I want to qualify. I got to get in the top 10 people to qualify. So.
Well, you did.
I did. I did pretty well.
Do you want to go to Carson Newman and fish on their kayak fishing team in college? They have a couple open spots. We'll hook you up.
That would be great, honestly.
All right. Hook it up. Hunter Sales, call this young man.
Done. You think he's lying, Gilbert, but he's really not. I'm not. He's really not. Yeah. What? So you're 18 years old. Are you still in high school or just out of high school?
I just got out of high school. So
what's next? You going to be a pro kayak angler, PKA?
I wish, but I don't know. Maybe one day.
We're trying to get it there, man. We're trying. We're pushing for you whippersnappers to make some money at this thing.
I normally, all the people in my normal leagues all like proceed to like, they all love me and hate me at the same time. They're like, okay, Gilbert's coming. Time to donate my money.
It's Michigan Edwin.
Yeah. Like I said, this is a very familiar tale.
Yeah, if you go back and watch some of our other shows, we've got some young fellas from the Carson Newman fishing team that they were pre Carson Newman, they were doing the same thing, but yeah, it sounds very similar to you, Gilbert.
Eerily similar.
Wizards with the scope, just really good anglers, period, and taking in all the old guys' money. That's what we are.
So, Ethan wants to know what Michigan trails you fish.
I've only ever fished the St. Clair before that. That was the only one I ever fished. Then I fished like some of the big bass brackets and like some other smaller tournaments. But I mostly just do like Topwater, the smaller league nights, Tuesday nights. And I'm doing pretty good at those this year. So
do you have any aspirations about hitting the road and fishing some of the Bassmaster or Hobie BOS Series tournaments?
I really want to. I don't know if I can, money-wise and stuff, but it would be fun.
You got some now? You got some savings in your pocket?
Yeah, I do. So
we'll do it, Jeff. We'll get him sponsored up, get him fishing for a college team.
Who knows?
KBN sponsorship. We'll give you some stickers that you can't put on put out in public.
I don't know. I like this young fella, Ryan. I think he's going places, so we'll see.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's got my vote.
Yeah, he's got my vote. So that's good stuff. What do you think of the format, Gilbert? The all you can catch format. Was that fun?
Yeah,
obviously, if you caught 100+ fish.
Oh yeah, it was a great time. It was probably one of my. It doesn't compare to St. Clair when the largemouth are spawning in the rivers. You can go and catch 200 in those rivers, but it doesn't compare to St. Clair at all. But it was a really great day. It's one of my better days I've had in the past 3-4 months since spawn. So, and it was like fish after fish after fish. Like my hands, so it was pouring most of the day, or raining, or sprinkling, or just doing something. So my hands at the end of the day were so gone from fish rash, and they were just like a white color and falling apart. It was bad.
Those are the good days. Cherish those.
Yeah.
Battle scars.
Yeah, I've still got some marks on my hands. I can't thumb a bass currently. I have to just put my hand above its gill plate and just press down. So
when that happens.
Yeah, good problems to have.
Yeah,
my hands are soft and supple from not catching fish.
Jeff's got cornhole rash on his.
I do.
On his thumb.
Right here in this groove right here. I got cornhole rash.
Oh man, Joe Mack says you can DoorDash for a couple weeks and be on the road for 2024. If you're going to be a PKA, you have to live in your vehicle too. So just sleep at the boat ramps and you'll be fine.
I already do that enough.
All right.
You're ready. You're ready. Get some Twinkies, some white monsters, and hit the road, man.
Yeah, I'm always driving across the state and stuff for 3-4 hours to small tournaments with 30, 40 people in them. And I normally do pretty good on those. So
that's awesome.
I'm doing one tomorrow too. So
Ryan, we're getting comments out of the Twitch.
I saw. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Twitch is, but thank you.
Gilbert knows.
Thank you, Dog versus Raptor. I hope the Raptor wins. I don't know.
You know what Twitch is, don't you, Gilbert?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. We're getting famous over there too, Gilbert. So
no, nobody watches us on Twitch at all, but YouTube and Facebook.
Except for this guy slinging something over there.
Yeah, the one guy on Twitch that just watches us with a heavy breathing every Monday night.
Just slinging to himself.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But we appreciate him nonetheless. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Well, Gilbert, you're a good one, man. I think we're going to see more out of you. Congratulations. We're going to let you slide out here and do our giveaway for the night, but thank you for taking the time to come.
Keep grinding. I hope we see you on the national scene with that live scope out there taking some money.
One day I will. Thank you guys.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
See you, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
You bet. Man, I like that kid.
He's got some spunk, doesn't he?
He does. I think he's another one to add to the list of the young guns.
They have so much confidence at that age, you know. Like life hadn't stomped the shit out of them yet. They're so happy and
so happy and
positive. They're like,
man,
my house isn't getting repossessed this week. Oh boy,
I like it. That cool stuff. I like young Gilbert. So, and that's cool. You know, we kind of knew all the young guys we've had on, Jackson and Edwin and even Nolan, some of the other guys. They're young men as you were, but we kind of knew them already, so we knew we were getting when we brought them on. But, you know, obviously neither one of us knew Gilbert, and he knocked it out of the park. So, well done.
I think we're seeing a trend though. That's kind of the way of the world. You know, the sport. I think they are much better at adopting this, you know, the newer technology. They're jumping on it a lot quicker than I'd still rather just throw a chatterbait at stumps and shit for a few hours myself. But here we are.
So we're going to do the giveaway. I'm trying to beat the early posters. They're trying to throw the hashtag Z-Men in and everything else, but I'm going to trick them. I'm tricking them tonight, Ryan.
Do it.
We're going with hashtag ElasTech.
Boom.
We said ElasTech earlier.
Take that. Golly. Here we go. Fire it up.
Hit that ElasTech in the comments and we'll get you. Yeah. Big Worm says Gilbert reminds me of when kayak fishing was simple 40 bass catching. Well, I remember that.
Get out there and catch 400 inches and going back to the house. That's what we used to do.
You got to you got to spell ElasTech right, guys. Come on.
You got all these live scopers out there now ruining it for us.
I swear.
You used to go to Chester Frost Park and catch 400 inches every evening.
Now you got all these damn kayaks in the way. Can't even get
kayaks,
the boat in there.
jet skis out there, Sea-Doo, fishing rigs.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of dead bass floating out there right now.
Aaron in the comments. Hey, you're welcome, Aaron. Whatever we can do, we here.
Anytime, Aaron. Anytime. Keep us posted.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley K earlier in the comments, Ryan. She said, "Ryan, what's up?" I guess she logged on. She asked how your leg was doing. So,
it's not great. Still in the cast. I get the cast off Monday. Go back into a walking boot for a month or 6 weeks or forever. I don't know. We'll see. Not a fan.
Which is it? Your left?
No. It's the only one I need. It's my right.
What's your plant foot for when you throw beanbags?
I don't care, man. I can throw them left-handed, backwards. I'm not really phased on the cornhole field.
All right, good. This winter,
I can do whatever I can do. I've been throwing seated just to make sure I can.
Trying to throw like that fella that was on the ESPN Top 10 last week.
I just get down there, roll on the ground, throw my teeth. I don't care. Whatever, man. Do the worm. You ain't stopping me. Not you. You can't beat me out of a cornhole match. I'll figure out how to make that work.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you, if anybody wants a fun exercise, go out and drive left-footed. Just get out there and drive around with your left foot and see how it feels.
Pretty dangerous, I bet.
The tactile feel on the old gas pedal is a little misleading at times.
Did you almost like forget how to hit the brake after you're going?
No, I hit it hard usually. I usually overcompensate on that. Yeah.
Big Worm wants to see your battle scar. I don't want to make him do that. He may blow his
It's in the
hamstring
cast
out.
right now,
Yeah.
so
If he tries to get his leg on the desk, he may blow his hamstring on top.
I about fell out of my truck earlier this afternoon on my crutches, so I'm definitely not going to be putting my leg behind my head on this one.
We don't need views that bad. We're good. All right, we're gonna do with the giveaway. Here we go. I'm gonna hit the draw button. Appreciate everybody watching tonight. Good show. After the big show with G-Man last week, we still had a bunch of folks come back.
Is Twitch in on this?
Yeah. No!
Stop, man. God dang.
So we've never banned anyone from KBN Live.
Oh my gosh. How many times does he want? Is this 4 or 5?
I don't know.
Or 6?
I think 3, 4.
It's at least 4. This is at least 4.
I think Johnny,
get out of here, man.
I think he is logged on from a Dominion voting machine or something.
Dude, he's Robin Hood out here. I don't know. There's something fishy going on. Is he
4.
sending you money? I thought it was 4. Yeah.
J-Mac got slow rolled. Somebody gets slow rolled every time. It's that pause. So, have you won everything? Have you done Revo, Seagar, Z-Man, or is this the second time for Z-Man, Johnny?
I don't even know what else to say here.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I don't know.
Oh boy, man! Baits? We didn't even touch on the baits for Icast. We were mentioning what were favorite baits, and I was like, wait a minute, we didn't even talk about the baits.
The copycast.
Yeah, well, I mean, we show I shared that thing. That was me, by the way. If anybody gets mad, slide my DMs. The Berkeley, it wasn't necessarily even the Berkeley knockoff. Like I feel like everybody's fairly used to that by now, but the owner of the original the original bait, I mean, he went in pretty good on them there, and I mean, with good reason. I think if you see like collaborations, especially with these little guys, I think you get a much better perception, as a whole from the market itself. And I know they're just trying to make something cheaper and sell more or whatever, but I think it's probably better when you at least, throw them a bone, give them some royalty, something off of it.
Yeah, why can't they do what, like, for instance, KGB and Spro?
Yeah.
The KGBs are $200 off the shelf, but they went with Spro. You can get one for $59. So those, what GSM, the flag, those are, I think, $40, $45 for the OGs. So easily Berkeley can obviously cut the price by making a knockoff version of it, but how hard would it have been to work with those guys and say, hey, we're bringing you X bait? I mean, Scottsboro did that with their swim baits with Yum. They partnered with it, so it'd be much better from a marketing perspective. Even, or maybe they don't give a shit. Maybe they sell plenty. I don't know.
And then Rapala came out and knocked off a couple. They came out with a soft plastics line that were identical to existing, but usually they'll change something. They'll change where claws attach or the shape of the end of a claw or something. But to come out and just straight up copy the stuff and not even attempt to change anything about it, that was the shocking thing to me. Like, I don't know. I mean,
and let's how do you win the best of show? Do they not know that was a copy?
Oh, dude, you know how they win it. You seen their booth space? I mean, This is a conglomerate. This isn't one. Berkeley's a piece of a big puzzle there.
Yeah, and frankly, I mean, I throw a lot of Berkeley stuff. I love their crankbaits. I love a lot of their stuff. I mean, it doesn't keep people from buying the stuff. You hate to see that, especially when it's something innovative. Soft body glide bait, which I don't know.
That's my thing. Is I feel like that was kind of a niche deal. Like that. It had its own little section of the market there. Like at least throw them a little bit. Don't just.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many ways.
I saw another guy post, like, he went and put the original flag in front of the Icast trophy in the Berkeley booth and left it there. He's like, nobody can even tell the difference. Like, they don't even know that I've put the original out here in front of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I know when it comes to baits, there's only so many ways to make a plastic crawdad or a plastic, shad or whatever. I mean, they're all bait imitations, so I get that. But the ones that are just, and one of the guys put up like 4 pictures from Icast with the original bait and the new Icast bait. They were dead ringers. The Rapala bait you mentioned, the glide bait. There was a couple others. Crazy. I don't know.
Wild times out there, boys. Wild times. Oh, we got a new board, the leaderboard.
Yeah, the leaderboard. Hey, and frankly, Yak Attack and Yak Gadget, I thought both of their live scope mounts were interesting. I think I like Yak Gadgets better. I mean, the biggest thing to me that is a pain with a live scope, and we've talked about it on here, is what do you do with your giant live scope pole when you're not using it? So I think that to me was the biggest problem to solve, is how do you flip it around or do something with it so it's not just hanging out there in the way. Yeah. Hey, fair enough, Tim. Fair enough.
You got it. You got Joey Randall had a great Yeti product. So for some reason decided to share with us in the Meme Wars.
Never did get a price on that, right?
It seemed cold to me. I don't know.
Icy hot.
Just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've covered it all now. That's all my memory bank has left.
Yeah. Hey, fish shallow, everybody. 3 feet.
Shallow. So when you say 3 feet,
I meant the bank.
People are gonna think you're fishing shallow.
I meant the bank. Damn it, Ryan. All right. That was funny.
Good night, folks. We'll see you next week.